alaikum students. I hope you all are fine. Now, after the poem in Unit 5, The Lazy Frog, we are going to start the chapter Rip Van Winkle in Unit 5. I hope you all are sitting with the books open. So open page number 82. And without wasting much time, let's start the chapter. Rip Van Winkle, which is written by Washington Irving. Now, before we start, let me tell you what are we going to study in this chapter. Rip Van Winkle is a name of a person. He was a very good-natured man, but he was lazy. Now because he was lazy, something unfortunate happened with him. He went to a place and he was asleep for 20 years. And when he woke up, he saw things changed. So now, in the chapter, when we'll study, we'll come to know how did he go to sleep, where did he go, where did he go and sleep, why did other people not find him, and when he woke up, what happened after 20 years. So let's start the chapter. Many years ago, at the foothills of the Catskill Mountains, was a little village. Now, many years before, it's a story years ago. And then we are talking about a village which is at the foothills. Now, there is a mountain Catskill. There are huge mountains, Catskills. Now, when you have the mountains, what is the meaning of foothill? Foothill means the lower part of the mountain. Suppose the mountain starts like this and the lower part, that's called foothills. So, at the lower side, there was a village. In the village lived a simple, good-natured fellow named Rip Van Winkle. Yes, so in that village there was he was very simple. Good-natured means he was a good behavior, he had a good behavior fellow, a man whose name was Rip Van Winkle. So we are going to talk about a very simple, good behaviored, good-natured man whose name was Rip Van Winkle. He was a kind neighbor. He was a kind neighbor means he was a very helpful neighbor. If his neighbor needed any help, he used to go and help them. Kind neighbor, ready to help anyone. So he was ready to help anyone. Whoever came and asked for help, Rip Van Winkle used to help them. Everyone in the village liked him. Now because he had a very good behavior, he was simple, everybody in the village liked him, right? The children of the village shouted with joy whenever they saw him because he played with them. He taught them to fly kites and shoot marbles and told them long stories. So yes, students, all the people in the village liked him, and even the children, they loved him because he used to play with those kids, with those children. Whenever he got time, he used to go and he used to play with those children. He used to teach them how to fly kites. He used to teach them how to shoot marbles, how to play with marbles, and he used to tell them long stories. So even children liked his company. He was a very joyful man. The only problem with Rip was that he was very lazy. So yes, what was the problem with Rip? Everything is good in that man, but he was lazy. Now you know when somebody is lazy, what happens with them? You already studied in the lazy frog, right? So he was also very lazy. He did no work on his own farm and just idled away his time. So now what happened? He had one farm. Okay, this Rip, he had one big farm, but he did nothing in that. He didn't sow seeds. He didn't he did not do farming in that farm. He did nothing. Okay, he didn't used to do any work. Though he used to help others, he used to play with children, but he did not do any work in the farm. Okay, and idled his time means he used to just waste his time. His fences were falling to pieces. Now you know, if you have suppose this is one farm. Okay, now you know we have some fences like this around the whole farm to guard the farm, right? So that nobody can enter, right? My drawing is not so good, but you can understand. There is a farm and they do have some grills or fences. We call them fences. Okay, that they are the boundaries. They are called the boundaries. They are called the boundaries of the farm. So his boundaries were falling, but what he did? He did nothing. He didn't go and repair those fences. His cow was going astray. Now his cow was going astray. What do you mean by astray over here? What do you mean by astray? Does anyone know? His cow used to just simply walk around. Okay, as he didn't have any owner. Now this Rip Van Winkle, he owned one cow and he had a farm, but he did nothing in the farm. Fences were falling. His cow was just simply roaming around. Okay, weeds grew on his farm. Weeds. What is the meaning of weeds? Those unwanted green grasses we have, right? So those unwanted grasses also were growing in his farm, but he didn't go and clean them. Now because of weeds, he cannot grow crops. Okay, the farm would not be so efficient. I mean, they'll not. He won't be able to grow crops because of the weeds, right? Now his farm was getting destroyed. His cow was simply roaming. Anybody could take that cow, right? But he did not care about it because he was very lazy. Rip's constant companion was his dog named Wolf. Now, the name is Wolf, but it is actually a dog. So when I say he had a wolf, that does not mean he had a wolf. He had a dog. The name of the dog was Wolf. Okay. So his constant companion means every time who used to stay with him together? Who used to stay with him together? With Rip, Wolf used to stay with him. That is his dog. He used to continuously, every time he had the dog roaming with him everywhere. We can see in the page number 83. Okay? To avoid work, he would walk away into forest with his dog. Now, to avoid work means to ignore the work. Okay, because he did not want to do work, what he used to do, he used to go in the forest for a walk. He used to go into the forests with his dog. So one day, Rip just walked on and reached the highest part of the mountains. Now we know the village was at the foothill of Catskill Mountains, right? So one day, because he did not want to do any work, he didn't have anything to do, so he walked and walked and walked and he reached the highest point of the mountains. It was late in the afternoon when he reached there. So he might have started walking in the morning and it was by late afternoon. Okay, it might be late afternoon, we mean over here is almost near the time of evening. At that time he reached the mountain. Tired after his long climb, he lay down and began daydreaming. So now he was tired. Obviously he walked so much that he reached the highest point. What he did, he just laid down. Okay, he was tired, his legs must be paining. So he laid down and began daydreaming. Daydreaming means he didn't sleep. Okay, he was just simply thinking about something. It was soon evening, and he realized it would be night by the time he reached his village. So, what happened now? That as he was lying and thinking, he wasted his time like that only. Okay, keeping and wasting his time like that, thinking, daydreaming. But then it was soon evening. Okay, it was time of evening. It must be 4, 5, or 6. Now he thought that if I go back to the village, it would be night. And it is dangerous going, crossing the forests at night, right? So he thought that it would be night if I go till I reach the village. Then what he did? Suddenly he heard a voice calling out, Rip Van Winkle, Rip Van Winkle. So now it was the time of evening and he was thinking what he will do now. Then suddenly he heard some voice. Okay, somebody was taking his name. He looked around and saw a short old man with thick hair and a grizzled beard walking towards him with a barrel. Now, what happened? He saw a very short man. Do you see this short man over here? Okay, he saw a short man. Okay, they all looked old. Okay, they all looked old. They had very thick hair. Okay, and see the beard, the style of their beard. Okay, they had grizzled beard. Walking towards him with a barrel. What is barrel? Now, do you see this container that they are carrying? That is called barrel. That is called barrel. So, with this barrel, they were coming near Rip Van Winkle. He made signs to help him carry the barrel. Now, he was showing the signs with the hands. He might be trying to, ask Rip with the help of hands. He was showing that I need help. Please carry the barrel. They might not be able to carry it. Rip hurried to help the stranger who caught his hand tightly. Okay. Now, Rip used to help everyone and neighbors also. So he hurried to help that stranger. Okay. And then together they reached a place where there were some more odd looking men. Now, he was carrying the barrel, he helped those men. Okay, and they reached one place where there were other men also, like this, short, thick hair. Okay, and they were very odd looking. Odd looking means they did not look normal like other people. What was odd in them? Now, what were they doing? Playing 9 pins. Now, what is playing 9 pins over here? 9 pins means you might see, it's there on page number 85. If you see, there is one big ball and there are some bowling pins kept, right? So you throw a ball and then all the pins fall, right? We have this game. So they were playing 9 pins. They were all dressed the same way and all of them had beard of various shapes and colors. Now, they all dressed the same way. Everybody had the same dressing style. You see, belt and the coat. You see over here, they have a cap. But what was different over here? They were wearing same style of dress. Okay, the different they had was they had all different color and shapes of the beard. Okay, you see the beard, they were all different colors and shapes. So, what did we see in today's class? So, here we finish with today's class. And what did we see in today's class? We saw that we were talking about a very good-natured man, Rip Van Winkle, but he was very lazy. Okay, he used to help neighbors, the villagers liked him, the children enjoyed being with him. Okay, but he was very lazy. He did not do any work in his farm. His cow was simply roaming here and there. Okay, but he had